Then the second hour was a young man that came in. He was in his 20s. And he came in to ask a career question. And I was just shocked at the beginning of the session because it was not medium at all. It had to do with his guides coming in and saying, well, he can't hold down a job. I said, okay, I'll ask him if that's true to get a validation. And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, they're saying that you can get an education, that you did do that. I did. He says, I'm actually very educated. Okay, cool. So he's highly educated. He has a good IQ. Very good. And I said, so what's going on? And he goes, well, just ask the spirit world what I need to know. He says, I'm here because I was told not to say much. Sit down and say my career and see what you tell me. And I said, well, it appears that I wanted to tell him that he was much like the client that came in right before him, but I couldn't. But I said, you seem to have an attitude of not my problem, or that you don't care. And so if you're studying and you need to do something for an exam, that's okay. That's where you have great success because there's no interaction with a human. Yeah. And so I said, so intellectually, you can really thrive because you don't actually have to be you. You can shut your personality down just to actually learn material, regurgitate it. And that makes you happy because you can get A+ at just about freaking anything. Like he's a bright man. And I said, so you do very well in university? And he goes, yes, I succeeded everything. And I said, but now that you have finished your education and you actually have to live life, you don't have any tools to. And he goes, keep going. And I said, you don't have any tools in relationships. You absolutely abuse your girlfriend, your partner. And he goes, I don't know. What do you mean? And I said, well, I'll name the 15 forms of abuse for you. So I did. And he goes, you'll have to explain some of them to me. So I did. Mm-hmm. And he goes, that would be very true. Of all the ones that you've named, I can say that I've done all of those to her. And he goes, I don't understand. And I said, well, and much like the first client, I said, because you verbally abuse your partner constantly, daily, they live together. I said, you've developed anxiety. And he goes, yeah, I didn't have it in my teen years. I've developed anxiety as an adult. And I said, and you do quite well at school. You do very well at performing. You can do presentations. You can do fantastic in an interview and get a job. He goes, yes. And I said, but you can't keep the job and you can't keep a girlfriend. And he goes, exactly. That's why I'm here. And I said, well, you don't have any emotional intelligence and you don't have any integrity to stay in anything. That's why you like school. Because you literally don't have to show what your intention is in something. You don't have to stay committed. You don't have to follow through. The schoolwork is easy to follow through. You're being graded. But in a personal relationship, if you feel you're being graded, that's when you will viciously attack them. And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, you have this belief of none of it's your problem. There's no responsibility or self-awareness about that you're the one destroying the relationship with her. And he goes, so are you telling me that I'm the one that's responsible for the relationship not working?
Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to call this show gross.
I called it not my problem.
I'm calling it what it is.